about favor and being, harm touching you. All of us in this dunya have been given a limited number of ni'mah and a limited number of shar. Right? On the one hand, Allah has decided what our rizq is going to be. Our rizq, our provision includes our money, but it also includes our friends. It includes our families, our rizq. Our knowledge is our rizq. The people who teach us is our rizq. The people who learn from us are our rizq. Our children are our rizq. Every good you have in your life is basically your rizq. And you have you don't have an unlimited amount of this stuff. Where do you get the unlimited stuff? You get that in Jannah. Here, there's a limited supply of what you're going to get. It's written for you. Then on top of that, there's a limited number of challenges that you're going to face in this life. Allah is not going to give you any more or any less than what He's written for you. That's it. It's declared, this is what your lot in life is. Now if you internalize that, then your challenges and your opportunities, if you put it in that language, then your challenges and your opportunities are not the same as my challenges and my opportunities. Okay? They're not the same. And sometimes Allah opens a door of opportunity, but you refuse to walk through it. Like He opened it, and you could have reaped a lot of reward from it, but you chose to not walk through it. And then you end up suffering. And then you end up blaming Allah instead. So now, if this is the case, everyone has a different lot in life. Everyone has a different set of challenges, a different set of opportunities. Then the question arises, why? Why not all of us have the same thing? Why not all of us have the same set of challenges? Make it consistent. The next ayah answers that question. He says, قُلْ كُلٌّ يَعْمَلُ عَلَى شَاكِلَتِهِ. Tell them, let everyone work. Everyone should work. كُلٌّ يَعْمَلُ actually means everyone should try to work. When a mudari' becomes a sifa, it's actually in the meaning of trying to do something. Everybody should try to work on their shakila. Now what is shakila? Shakl in Arabic is form. Shakl is the appearance of something and the mold of something. Okay? You can even say the shape of something is shakila. In a figurative sense, you can call it, I use psychological terminology now, your predisposition. You're pre-programmed a certain way. Some people have a good sense of humor, some people are very serious, some people are oriented towards science, others towards literature, some are very artistic, some are, they have a hard time figuring out what they are, but they know how to have a good time. There are people with different personalities, different shakilat, you can say. Allah says everybody, first of all, recognize what Allah has given you, what kind of personality Allah has given you, and then work in accordance with that. In other words, shakilah, you see the ta marbuta at the end, makes it actually a marra, meaning an instant, an individual thing. Not two people have the same shakilah. Allah made personalities very, very, very different. And everybody should try to figure out what their personality is like as much as they can. And then, in accordance with that, figure out what is the most they can make of their opportunities. What are the most they can, and what are the challenges in their personality, what are some shortcomings they have, and how can they overcome them. This is actually a very powerful concept at the individual level, but it's so powerful that Allah in another place in the Quran even describes this at the level of nations. One of the names for nations in the Quran, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا. Shu'uban comes from the word sha'ab, or shu'bah in Old Arabic, which actually means a dent or a crack in a wall. An imperfection is a sha'b. It's an imperfection. As if to say every nation has some good qualities, but some quirks. And nations have to get to know each other, so they learn from each other's strengths. Because one nation's strength is another nation's weakness, and one nation's weakness is another nation's strength. In my culture, there are some things that are really bad. I should learn from another nation. Like if I'm a Desi, our dietary habits are really bad. So maybe I should learn from another nation that has much healthier eating practices, whose 70-year-olds go jogging, where our 40-year-olds are on a cane. So maybe there's something wrong with our culture that we can learn from another culture. That's at the level of nations even. But even at the level of an individual, if someone's able to recognize their weaknesses, then they're able to make connections, make friends, put themselves around people that cover for that weakness. That they recognize that weakness and they cover for that weakness. You see, if you surround yourself with people that have the same weaknesses as you, they have the same problem as you. Like if you have a terrible sense of humor, you have no restrictions on your sense of humor, and you become friends with other people who also have no breaks in their sense of humor, not very good things will come out of that relationship. Maybe someone in this relationship should have what? Some sense of, okay guys, that's enough. Let's cut it out. You see what I'm saying? Somebody has to be there. But if, by the way, if everybody's super serious, and you're serious and all your friends are super, that's a very depressing life. You need somebody to stir things up. قُلْ كُلٌّ يَعْمَلُ عَلَى شَاكِلَتِهِ. Now in terms of deen, in terms of what Allah wants you to do with your life, everybody should, instead of complaining, or you only get happy when good things happen, and you get super depressed when bad things happen, the reality of it is, each of you will have your share of good and bad in this world, and you need to make the most of it given your personality, given your shakila. فَرَبُّكُمْ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ هُوَ أَهْدَى سَبِيلًا. Then your master knows who is more guided in terms of a path. You know, and he didn't say as-sabil either, he said sabilan. He made it, actually, this is a tamyiz of it, in terms of a path, suggesting that each one of us will have a course, depending on our shakila.